everybody. It is still cold out. Still pretty cold out. But anyways, trying to figure out how to find a good replacement. A good replacement for not only my headset, but yeah, TikTok. I don't know. Just don't really see the point of using it. I understand there's so many tools that people probably use to, you know, make their stuff blow up with like paid and advertisements and boosting, all these targeted things. You can run campaigns, all that jazz, but right now that's not really what we're in it for, and they keep doing strange stuff with Streamlabs, so I don't know if it's not compatible or if they have like some argument going on, maybe. You know, for all I know, they're in court. For some reason, there's an issue with the content when you talk about specific things. Just like shut your stuff off. And since I'm talking about God, that's not what I need. I will be also doing a couple of different things, from shortening ad time on Twitch. I mean, it is the only method of monetization, but that's not why I'm doing any of this stuff, so it would be a blessing. But I don't feel like that's why I'm called to do this, so that's why I don't know if it's necessary anymore. I mean, doing it when I game is a different situation, but not in the morning on days when I'm just reading scripture and things like that. Because I can't stop the ads if I don't have the other monitor open. Or other screen, right? Right now my other monitor is above me. It's huge. I don't really like it. Unless I sat way back, then it would be fine. But yeah, I would be looking up like this just to read everything. Like, oh yeah, that's very personable. No, not so much. So either way, good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. I'm trying to find the right hour to do all this. It really isn't the best hour. I was doing it at 3 in the morning last time for the first full year of streaming. This year, I'm wondering how like challenging it will be to do so many different categories and to put it all together. It's probably more challenging than I'm thinking, but yeah. What is it? What is life but fun? It's fun, right? Oh, I don't know if I don't know if I can make it. There's a conference thing going on. I kind of do want to go. I just think it's far and expensive. I don't have the money. Excuse me. Where is that coming from? Mel? But yeah, there's all types of different things and different reasons why I could say, oh, this is why I'm not trying to use TikTok, right? Or whatever. I can. But it's gonna be probably an independent thing, and I don't really know. I deleted my account. Probably can recover it if I ever needed to, at least within the first month. But there's a lot of like even job opportunities. I'm seeing that they want you to do stuff for TikTok, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do like a little experiment at using these sites independently, instead of with the multi-streaming, and see how much better it works if it does draw like a more direct audience for, you know, YouTube. I know that it makes a major difference when I'm doing IRL streams from my phone, but I'm still using Streamlabs, so. But that makes YouTube work really, really effectively. I mean, I get people that are talking. It's wonderful. It's like the goal for, I think, a lot of people, right? If they're doing IRL. Yeah. It's like, I don't know if water's gonna help me. I know Jesus is gonna help me. I don't think water's doing anything. When you smash your face into concrete and everything heals, it's not healed 100% most of the time. So yeah, everything's like super dry, and I'm taking like new allergy medicine. I'm like, I don't think anything is helping me. Personally, I don't think anything's helping me at all whatsoever. You take one thing, it's like you put your left foot in, you put your right foot out, before you know it, you're falling on your butt. Where is my phone? I should probably know where all these different things are that I need to use in my life, right? Just a little bit. I don't know what word that was, but it was supposed to be little. Ugh. The life of speech impediments are to die for. Man, people love Fortnite. I don't know why they. I see how it's like an. If you fell in love with it, I guess. Like people fell in love with Verdansk. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. The constant battle royale thing, I'm not with it. I'm just. If it's not like instant respawn, my I just have to like keep doing something. It's like 30 seconds and my heart's like, all right, maintain its pace, don't slow down. No. Doesn't work how I want it to work. But yes, there's lots of stuff going on. The best name ever. Wait, I think it'll need full. Yeah, no, I don't know. I guess I should keep the stream manager open. Man. Oh, whatever is in the air, it's like thick in Texas or whatever. It's thick in Texas. That's it. Well, I don't know what I should do. I don't know. I guess it's fine. Like, what should I do after? After reading, what do I do? These are the things I wonder with my life. It's like too cold to walk, but I could walk. I could just say, I don't care, right? I could just say whatever. Just do it anyway, but I'm sure there's some excuse I'll figure out, or just, I don't know. I've been up since 5, so I feel like I've already done enough today. I don't know why they say wet your whistle or whatever they used to say, because I definitely cannot whistle. But I mean, I can sing a little bit. There's a difference. It's not whistling. But anyways, aside from my random morning conversations with myself and everything else, it was interesting at church yesterday. We're going over a different series on Wednesdays than Sundays. And yesterday it was kind of like weaving in and out of different verses, as most churches do. It's kind of like, give an example. Sometimes it's Old Testament to New Testament context. But I thought it was interesting that it's literally right in the same chapter that I chose to start talking about. Apparently it's been in that chapter like back and forth, but I just never noticed when it started, so it's kind of interesting. But it's exciting when I'm like making progress, because either the pages are getting fatter, which I think is very possible, or I'm actually starting to get to like almost the halfway point. But in order to do this in an entire year, right, I wonder how many I would have to do a day. Whether on stream or not, I'm just wondering how many I would have to do to complete it before 2027. Just a thought. I like to stick to goals. They seem to have a really good impact. I'm like, I guess generally overall making habits, changing them. Some of them are a little bit more challenging, like this working out stuff. That's a bit different. I don't know if it's gonna let me, but I gotta change. I changed the title. But thank you so much. Shout out once again to the Stream Element sponsorship with Yahtzee. Some features didn't work, so I probably won't get the full payout for the work I did. I say work, but the amount of time I spent, I should say. But it is what it is. There's 2 other options that are out there. I'm not sure if I'm going to. I gotta click off branded content again. But in order to enjoy it, it's like I don't know. There's 2 options right now, and who knows? Like tomorrow there might be another. There always is some type of. There's something new usually. That's usually what happens. There's something new that comes and goes. All right. But before the break, in general, I did not realize that we are literally at the last chapter. Oh, it flipped without any wind by itself. Crazy. There's so much in this room, right? Well, there literally is. I want to get rid of all the stuff behind me. I got to get it back to New York somehow, but that's beyond me. I have no clue how to do that. I've been trying to figure it out, but yeah. Today's really, really short. It's like really short, actually. And then it goes right into 2 Samuel, and I'm thinking to myself, is it gonna be complete if I go and I just do what I said last time and I just jump right into the New Testament, or like go back and forth, like what does God want me to do? Because this is kind of like the way that I'm learning is I've never really ever fully read a full book, like, and actually like studied it, like had a photographic memory for quite a while on certain things, but as I am aging, I'm like, I actually really do enjoy it, but it's different. It's different. I have so many books probably that I bought with the intention to read, and I didn't read it at all. Just school.
Okay, here's a video of what
Just
fire looks
books
like
for
in
school.
zero
That was
gravity.
all. Like college. That was probably the only time I ever put effort into reading was college, and then after that it was like goodbye academics. But we do get to the point here at the end of 1 Samuel where we've been discussing and talking about David and how he first, was called on one thing, and we see how different periods of time, God is using different people in different ways. Then disobedience led to a lot of the chaos and problems that we saw with, I think it was Saul. But either way, got some knowledge about Samuel, got some knowledge about David. I think we're going to go further into 2 Samuel as we conclude the death of Saul, because it does look like it goes right after. So that's probably what direction I'll go in. But I might just go back and like recap on like the first several chapters of 1 Samuel instead of going and doing everyone again in kind of the wrong order. I'll come to some type of conclusion. But we're going to be starting here at chapter 31 of Samuel 1. Now the Philistines were fighting against Israel, and the men of Israel fled. They fled before the Philistines and fell slain on Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines overtook Saul and his sons. And the Philistines... What's that thing in my throat? And the Philistines overtook Saul and his sons. And the Philistines struck down Jonathan, Abinadab, and Malachi Shua, the sons of Saul. All of them. Jeez, all three. The battle pressed hard against Saul, and the archers found him, and he was badly wounded by the archers. Then Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and thrust it through me." Okay. Then Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and thrust it through me with it." That doesn't sound like it's reading right. I'm going to read it different, I guess. The battle pressed hard against Saul, and the archers found him, and he was badly wounded by the archers. Then Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and thrust me through with it, lest these uncircumcised come through and thrust me through and mistreat me." But his armor-bearer would not, for he feared greatly. Therefore Saul took his own sword and fell upon it. And when his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he also fell upon his sword and died with him. Thus Saul died, and his 3 sons. and his armor bearer, and all his men on the same day together. And when the men of Israel, who were on the other side of the valley and those beyond the Jordan, saw that the men of Israel had fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they abandoned their cities and fled. And the Philistines came and lived in them. The next day, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, they found Saul and his 3 sons fallen on Mount Gilboa. So they cut off his head and stripped off his armor, and sent messengers throughout the land of the Philistines to carry the good news to the house of their idols and the people. They put his armor on the table of Ashtaroth, and they fastened his body to the wall of Bethshan. But when the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead heard what the Philistines had done to Saul, all the valiant men arose and went all night and took the body of Saul and his body of his sons. They took them from the wall of Bethshan, and they came to Jabesh and burned them there. And they took their bones and buried them under the tamarisk tree in Jabesh, and fasted 7 days. So interesting. I wonder when it first goes back. I wonder when the first time they ever did kind of that, can't remember what it's called, but where you would go and you would return the bodies of the hostages. I don't know, not exertion. There's some type of word where you're going there to recover, and honor those that had fallen. And it's interesting that even back then, this is very close to the first 5 books of the Bible, the Torah, and I'm like, this is since literally the beginning of time. If you think about it like that, it's like we still do things that, though many of the politicians have stripped God and Christ from a lot of the things, it's like the military, I know, never, they have always, I think, given honor to God. I could be wrong, but it's interesting to see that even back then, in days when they would have war, that they would even go back then and return. I just wonder, where did they learn that from? It's just interesting. Just things I'm wondering. When did that become something that would follow so far into history that even today they would still be honoring the dead? This is in specifically combat situations when you're at war and retrieval. It's just very interesting. Interesting stuff. I might as well go into the second part, right? Because it's so short. So yeah, the second part, we're just going to go right into what David hears. He hears about Saul's death at the beginning of 2 Samuel. Samuel 1. 2 Samuel 1. After the death of Saul, when David had returned from striking down the Amalekites, David remained 2 days in Ziklag. And on the 3rd day, behold, a man came from Saul's camp. He came with his torn clothes and dirt on his head. And when he came to David, he fell on the ground and paid homage. David said to him, "Where do you come from?" And he said to him, "I have escaped from the camp of Israel." And David said to him, "How did it go? Tell me." And he answered, "The people fled from the battle, and also many of the people had fallen and are dead. And Saul and his son Jonathan are also dead." Then David
What if I
said,
told you this dish was actually healthy? Let's be real. Factor's menu is way
"Then
healthier
let's
than the
go."
competition.
Healthy meal. Good choice, right? I don't know where it was. But they paid homage. David said to him, "Where do you come from?" And he said to them, "I have escaped from the camp of Israel." And David said to him, "How did it go? Tell me." And he answered, "The people fled from the battle, and also many of the people have fallen and are dead, and Saul and his son Jonathan are also dead." Then David said to the young man who told him, "How do you know that Saul and his son Jonathan are dead?" And the young man who told him said, "By chance I happened to be on Mount Gilboa, and there was Saul leaning on his spear, and behold, the chariots and the horsemen were close upon him. And when he looked behind him, he saw me and called to me. And I answered, 'Here I am.' And he said to me, 'Who are you?' I answered him, 'I am an Amalekite.' And he said to me, 'Stand beside me and kill me, for anguish has seized me, and yet my life still lingers.' So I stood beside him and killed him, because I was sure that he could not live after he had fallen. And I took the crown that he had on his head, and the armlet that was on his arm, and I have brought them here to my lord." Then David took hold of his clothes and tore them, and so did all the men who were with him. And they mourned and wept and fasted until the evening for Saul and for Jonathan his son, and for the people of the Lord and for the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. And David said to the young man who told him, "Where do you come from?" And he answered, "I am the son of a sojourner, an Amalekite." David said to him, "How is it that you were not afraid to put out your hand?" Just gonna do 11. Well, that's not right either. Okay. Forget it. Mistyping everything in my life. Okay. David said to him, "How is it that you are not afraid to put out your hand to destroy the Lord's anointed?" Then David called out of the young man and said, "Go execute him." And he struck him down so that he died. And David said to him, "Your blood be on your head, for your own mouth has testified against you, saying, 'I have killed the Lord's anointed.'" And David lamented with this lamentation over Saul and Jonathan his son, and he said, "It should be taught to the people." "It should be taught to the people of Judah. Behold, it is written in the book of Yasher," he said, "Your glory, O Israel, is slain on your own high places. How the mighty have fallen. Tell it not in Gath. Publish it not in the streets of Ashkelon, lest the daughters of the Philistines rejoice, lest the daughters of the uncircumcised exult. the mountains of Gilboa. Let there be no dew or rain upon you, nor fields or offsprings. For the shield of the mighty was defiled, the shield of Saul not anointed with oil. From the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan turned not back, and the sword of Saul returned not empty. Saul and Jonathan, beloved and lovely, in life and in death they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles, they were stronger than lions. Your daughters of Israel wept over Saul, who clothed you luxuriously in scarlet, who put ornaments of gold on your apparel, how the mighty have fallen in the midst of the battle. Jonathan lies slain on the high place. I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant have you been to me. Your love to me was extraordinary, surpassing the love of women. How your mighty have fallen, and the weapon of war perish. Man, sounds like that was a lot to take in for David. You know, you read earlier on with what we were reading with 1 Samuel, and you already understand how it came to be that, you know, David had so many. I think it even said David had so many opportunities, but he didn't ever take Saul's life, right? But that's so real to even this day. Obviously, we're reading history, so we're gonna see things that correlate to even stuff that happens to this day. You know, with recent deaths and everything else that have gone on, the tragedies of all of it. It's very, it is life, but all of it is preventable. However, right now the spirits are very rampant and they're running wild out there, so there's going to be a lot of this unfortunate stuff that we have to see or hear. And I myself try to tune out as much news as possible, but then you're left with all the YouTube and different platform, all the short videos that draw people in, the reels and stuff. Oh. Welcome. I'm like looking at SiriBot and also looking at that, and I'm like, work. Do your job. It's like nope. It could be more obvious. That's funny. You failed, Siri. She's seriously, I'm on a break. I'll get to it. So yeah, there's a lot of different stuff. David is obviously feeling very strong. He just killed somebody that gave him all that information. So yeah, he cared a lot, as we all would. We all would if that were us in that situation. And some of us even are with the modern times, with all the different things going on, a lot of different war and rumors of wars, and a lot of delusion that's going out there. There's a lot of stuff that's been talked about. And now I get to really, I guess, see it all unfold in a way you could say it's bittersweet. to see the Lord's will come to pass is like it's a wonderful thing. But so many of our family and our friends, like we don't even consider that, you know, one day there will be eternal separation. So you just have to try your best to do what you can. Be the light that Christ would have you be to those in your family, and you know, keep praying for them. Ask them, you know, annoy them a little bit. Annoy them into heaven. But either way, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to do it again tomorrow, probably. But we're going to continue 2 Samuel. So God bless y'all. Have a wonderful day. And, yeah. God bless.